To begin, let us simply acknowledge the most important thing that has happened today. It is not a meeting you attended. It is not a task you completed. Slower, emphasizing the weight, it is the simple, profound act of closing the door. Think about that moment. Think about the physical sensation of the handle turning in your hand, the weight of the wood swinging shut, and the soft, final click of the latch sliding into place. It is a small sound, perhaps the smallest sound you have made all day, but it signals a massive shift in the reality of your world. With that one click, you have created a boundary. You have drawn a line in the sand between the demands of the world outside and the sanctuary of the space inside. Slightly wearier tone for the outside description. The world out there is loud. It is full of voices that want your attention, screens that want your eyes, and responsibilities that want your energy. It is a place of constant motion, a river that never stops flowing, pulling you along with its current. Shift to relief and warmth. But in here, on this side of the door, the river stops. The motion settles. You have stepped out of the current and onto the dry, warm bank. You are no longer a participant in the rush. You are an observer of the stillness. The room you're in right now is more than just four walls and a ceiling. It is a container for your peace. It is a vessel that has been waiting for you all day, keeping the quiet safe until you are ready to return to it. Gentle instruction now. Turn your attention to the device that is likely near you, the phone, the tablet, the window into the noise. Visualize yourself reaching out and turning it off. Or perhaps you just turn it over, placing the screen against the cool surface of the nightstand. Watch the light fade. The glowing blue square that connects you to millions of other minds blinks out, leaving only the dark. Pause for effect. There is a specific kind of relief in that darkness, isn't there? It is the relief of disconnection. For hours, you have been a node in a network, sending and receiving signals, processing information, reacting to the thoughts and feelings of others. But now, the signal is cut. The network is down. You are no longer a node. You are just you. You are a solitary island in a calm sea. Deepened voice, more soothing. Feel the darkness of the room wrapping around you, like a second blanket. It is not a frightening darkness. It is a heavy, comforting velvet. It softens the hard edges of the furniture. It blurs the corners of the room. It erases the piles of laundry or the stack of papers that might be waiting for you tomorrow. In the dark, those things do not exist. In the dark, the only thing that is real is the feeling of your body resting on the mattress. Let us focus on that feeling. Feel the gravity of the earth pulling you down. Gravity is often described as a force, but tonight, think of it as an embrace. It is the planet itself holding you, anchoring you, promising that you do not need to hold yourself up anymore. You can let go, you can sink. The mattress rises to meet you, conforming to the shape of your shoulders, your hips, your legs. It is a perfect support system, designed for this exact purpose, to carry your weight so you don't have to. Notice the texture of the sheets against your skin. Are they cool? Are they smooth? Are they warm? These small sensory details are the anchors of the present moment. They keep you here, in the safety of the now, preventing your mind from drifting back to the regrets of the past or forward to the worries of the future. There is only this room. There is only this bed. There is only this breath. Very quiet, listening tone. Listen to the room. Really listen. Beneath the silence, there is a texture to the air. Perhaps you can hear the low, steady hum of a fan, spinning its rhythmic lullaby. Perhaps you can hear the settling of the house, the creak of a floorboard as the building itself relaxes. After a long day of expanding in the heat and contracting in the cool night. These are the sounds of safety. They are the heartbeat of your home. They tell you that the structure is sound, that the walls are standing, that the roof is holding. You are protected, you are enclosed, you are safe. Tone, wonder, expansive, lifting now. I want you to let your imagination do something wonderful. I want you to let it become light. Let it detach from the heaviness of your body, just for a moment, and float upward. Visualize your awareness rising up from the bed, hovering near the ceiling. Look down at your own body resting there. See the gentle rise and fall of your chest. See the stillness of your limbs. You look peaceful. You look like a traveler who has finally reached the inn after a long journey. Continue to float upward. Drift through the ceiling, passing through the plaster and the beams as if they were made of mist. Rise up through the attic, through the insulation and the dust of years, and then, gently, push through the roof. Step out into the cool, crisp night air. You are now standing on the roof of your home, under the vast, open dome of the sky. The air here is different. It is fresher, sharper. It carries the scent of the night, perhaps the smell of damp grass, or the distant, salty tang of the ocean, or the clean, metallic smell of rain. Look around you. The world below is sleeping. The houses on your street are dark, their windows like closed eyes. The cars are parked in their driveways, their engines cold and silent. The street lights cast pools of yellow light on the pavement, but there is no one walking through them. The neighborhood is resting. It is a collective pause, a shared agreement among thousands of people to stop, to lie down, and to be quiet. There is a deep sense of community in this sleep. You are not the only one resting. You are part of a great wave of rest that is sweeping across the continent, turning off the lights one by one. Tone shift, awe, vastness, mystery, but now, look up, look away from the earth, look into the deep, endless ocean above you. The sky is not a flat ceiling. It is a depth. It is a well that goes on forever. And tonight, it is filled with stars. Depending on where you live, you might see only the brightest few, the steadfast guardians that pierce through the city glow. Or, if you are far from the lights of the towns, you might see thousands of them. A dusting of diamond powder thrown across a sheet of black velvet. They are beautiful, yes. But tonight, I want you to notice something else about them. I want you to notice their silence. Think about what you are looking at. Each one of those tiny points of light is a sun. Each one is a roaring furnace of energy, a massive sphere of burning gas, exploding with the power of 1,000,000 nuclear bombs every single second. They are violent, chaotic, and unimaginably powerful. And there are billions of them. The galaxy is a crowded place. It is a city of stars, a metropolis of matter and energy that stretches for 100,000 light years. In a human city, a crowd means noise. If you stood on a rooftop in New York, or Tokyo, or London, you would hear the hum of the crowd. You would hear the sirens, the voices, the footsteps, the machinery. You would hear the evidence of life. You would know, without looking, that you were surrounded by activity. But here, looking out at the metropolis of the Milky Way, there is nothing. There is absolutely no sound. The silence is total. It is complete. It is heavy. Tone, educational but dreamy. This is what scientists call the Great Silence. For decades, we have pointed our biggest ears, our radio telescopes, at the sky. We have listened with the intensity of a person waiting for a phone call in the middle of the night. We have scanned the frequencies. We have analyzed the static. We have waited for a beep, a hum, a pattern, a whisper. We have waited for someone, anyone, to say hello. We have waited for the noise of the galactic city. But the phone has never rung. The static remains just static. The silence remains unbroken. Tone, reassuring, shifting the perspective for some people. This silence is frightening. They look up at the vast emptiness and they feel lonely. They wonder if we are the only ones here, stranded on a tiny rock in a dead universe. They feel the chill of the isolation. But tonight, I want to offer you a different perspective. I want you to try on a different feeling. I want you to feel the comfort of the silence. Think about why you closed your door tonight. Think about why you turned off your phone. You did it because you were tired. You did it because the noise of the world was too much, and you needed a break. You needed privacy. You needed a space where no one could reach you, where no one could ask you for anything, where no one could observe you. You wanted to be alone. Now, imagine that the universe feels the exact same way. Imagine that the silence of the stars is not an accident, and it is not a tragedy. Imagine that it is a choice. What if the galaxy is not a graveyard, but a dormitory? What if the civilizations out there, the ancient, wise, advanced beings that might live around those distant stars, have simply learned the value of a closed door? They are not gone. They are just resting. They have turned off their lights. They have silenced their phones. They have stopped broadcasting their news and their noise into the void, not because they are afraid, but because they are done with the noise. They have grown up. They have realized that the ultimate luxury in a universe of infinite size is the ability to be left alone. The great silence is not a sign of emptiness. It is a sign of peace. It is the sound of a billion worlds sleeping. It is the sound of a galaxy that has hung a do not disturb sign on the door of the spiraling arms. When you look up at the night sky, you are not looking at a void. You are looking at a neighborhood at 3 a.m. The lights are out because everyone is asleep. The streets are quiet because everyone is safe in their beds. Tone, deep relief, sinking feeling. Feel the profound relief of that idea. You are not isolated in a scary way. You are insulated in a safe way. The silence of space is a blanket that wraps around the earth, protecting us from the chaos of the cosmos. It means that there are no loud neighbors to wake us up. There are no sudden interruptions coming from the sky. There is just the quiet, steady drift of the stars. Guiding the listener back to bed, bring your awareness back down now. Float back down from the starry sky, down through the cool night air, back through the roof of your house. Drift down through the attic, through the ceiling, and settle back into your own body. Feel the mattress beneath you again. Feel the warmth of the duvet. You are echoing the universe. Your small, dark room is a microscopic version of the great, dark galaxy. You have closed your door, just as the stars have closed theirs. You have turned off your light, just as the distant worlds have turned off theirs. You are in sync with the rhythm of the cosmos. You do not need to worry about the silence. You do not need to fill it with noise or podcasts or music. You can trust it. The silence is the container for your rest. It is the deep, dark water that supports the boat of your consciousness. Let the silence of the room merge with the silence of the space outside. Let the walls of your room become transparent in your mind, so that you are lying not just in a house, but in the center of the great quiet. You are suspended in a bubble of peace that extends for millions of light years in every direction. There is no one coming to disturb you. The nearest star is 4 light years away. That is a distance so vast that even light, the fastest thing in existence, takes 4 years to cross it. Think of that distance as a wall, a thick, impenetrable wall of safety. Nothing can reach you quickly. No bad news can travel that fast. No demands can cross that gap. You are buffered by the vacuum. You are insulated by the void. This is the gift of the great silence. It gives you permission to disconnect. If the universe itself, with all its grandeur, all its power, all its time, chooses to be quiet, then surely you are allowed to be quiet too. You do not have to be productive right now. You do not have to be social. You do not have to be on. You can just be. You can lie here, safe in your tower, protected by the distance, held by the gravity, soothed by the silence. The phone is off. The door is locked. The stars are mute. The galaxy is sleeping. And now, finally, so can you. Pause for breathing cues. Take a slow breath in, filling your lungs with the quiet air of the room. Hold it for a moment, tasting the stillness, and then let it out. A long, slow exhale that carries away the last tension of the day. You are safe in the great silence. It is not empty. It is full of peace. It is full of the potential for dreams. It is a velvet curtain pulled across the stage of the day, signaling that the show is over. The audience has gone home. The actors have washed off their makeup. The lights have been dimmed. There is nothing left to do but drift. Drift on the surface of the silence. Let it carry you. Let it support you. As you lie here, sinking deeper into the mattress, you might begin to wonder about the nature of this quiet. Is it really just sleep? Or is there something even deeper happening? Is the silence of the universe a passive thing, or is it an active strategy? Is the galaxy quiet because it is empty, or is it quiet because it is hiding? And if it is hiding, what is it hiding from? And why does the act of hiding feel so incredibly, wonderfully safe? Let us drift further into the dark woods of the cosmos to find out. Let us explore the comfort of the hidden places. Let us find the peace in the shadows. Tone, storytelling, imagery focused. The lighthouse. Imagine for a moment that you have traveled far away from the house, far away from the city, and far away from the life you know. You have traveled to the very edge of the land, where the solid earth ends and the great, wild ocean begins. Imagine that you are a lighthouse keeper. You live in a tall, round tower made of whitewashed stone, perched on a jagged rock that juts out into the dark water. It is night. The sun set hours ago, dipping below the horizon like a coin dropping into a slot. And now the world is composed entirely of shadows and sound. You are standing in the lantern room at the very top of the tower. It is a glass room, a bubble of transparency suspended in the sky. In the center of the room is the great light. It is a massive lens, polished to perfection, turning slowly, rhythmically, on its heavy iron gears. It hums a low, steady note, a vibration that you can feel in the soles of your feet. Hum. The light swings out, cutting a bright, solid cone through the darkness. It sweeps across the black waves, revealing the white foam of the surf for a split second, and then it swings away, leaving the ocean to return to the dark. Sweep. Dark. Sweep. Dark. This is your world. You are the watcher on the rock. You are alone here, but you do not feel lonely. There is a profound sense of purpose in your solitude. You are not waiting for anyone to visit. You are not expecting a knock at the door. You are simply keeping a vigil. You are the one who stays awake so that the ships at sea know where the land lies. You are the one who maintains the boundary between the safety of the rock and the mystery of the deep. Tone, expanding the metaphor now. Let us expand this image. Let us make the tower taller and the ocean wider. Let us imagine that the rock you are standing on is not just an island, but the earth itself, and the ocean surrounding you is not made of water, but of space. It is the cosmic ocean, the vast, deep, limitless expanse of the vacuum. It is darker than any sea on earth. It is deeper than any trench. It stretches out in all directions, past the moon, past the planets, past the sun, out into the cold, silent reaches of the galaxy. You are the lighthouse keeper of humanity. You are standing on the little blue rock of Earth, looking out into the night. And just like the keeper on the island, you are looking for a sign of life. You are looking for another ship. You are looking for another light in the dark. For the last 80 years or so, This is exactly what the human race has been doing. We have built great ears to listen to the sky. Picture a valley in the mountains, quiet and secluded. Nestled in the green earth is a massive bowl of white metal, hundreds of feet wide, facing upward. This is a radio telescope. It looks like a giant cup, waiting to catch the rain. But it is not waiting for water. It is waiting for radio waves. It is waiting for a whisper from the stars. These great metal ears are the most sensitive instruments we have ever built. They are so delicate that if you were to stand on the moon and turn on a flashlight, they could see it. They are so sensitive that if a snowflake landed on the ground a mile away, the vibration would register. We have built them in deserts, in valleys, and on high plateaus. We have turned them toward the center of the galaxy, where the stars are thickest. We have turned them toward the nearby suns that look like our own. We have turned them toward the dark patches where we think something might be hiding, and we have listened. Tone, patient, slow, almost hypnotic. Imagine the patience of that listening. Think of the astronomers sitting in control rooms, bathed in the soft glow of monitors, sipping coffee while the rest of the world sleeps. They watch the lines on the screens. They listen to the hiss of the universe. The universe is not silent in a literal sense. It is full of noise. It hums with the leftover heat of the Big Bang. It crackles with the magnetic storms of Jupiter. It pops with the explosions of dying stars. It is a symphony of static. But the astronomers are not looking for static. They are looking for a song. They are looking for a pattern. They are looking for a signal that says, I am here. I am like you. I am awake. They are waiting for the echo. We have sent our own signals out, too. We have been the lighthouse beam sweeping the dark. For decades, our television broadcasts, our radio shows, our radar pulses have been leaking out into space. A sphere of human noise is expanding away from Earth at the speed of light. It has washed over thousands of stars. It has carried the sounds of our voices, our music, our laughter, and our wars to the ears of anyone who might be listening. We have shouted hello into the canyon, and then we have waited for the echo to come back. We have waited and waited and waited. And the only thing that has come back is silence. Let's take a tour of the neighborhood. Let's look at the houses on our street. We pointed our ears at Tau Ceti, a star very much like our sun, just down the road in cosmic terms. We listened for hours, for days. We analyzed the frequencies. We stripped away the background noise, and we found nothing. Just the hiss of burning gas. The house was dark. We looked at Epsilon Eridani. We looked at the stars in the Pleiades. We looked at the dense cluster of stars in the core of the Milky Way. We looked at galaxies millions of light years away. We scanned millions of channels, turning the dial of the radio slowly, carefully, hoping to catch a fragment of a broadcast. Nothing. Tone, scientific curiosity mixed with calm. This is the heart of the Fermi Paradox. It is the discrepancy between the math and the reality. The math says the universe should be teeming with life. There are billions of stars and billions of planets. Even if life is rare, there should be millions of civilizations out there. The sky should be full of voices. It should be as loud as Times Square. We should be seeing their ships, or hearing their radios, or spotting their lighthouses. But when we look out from our tower, the ocean is completely black. There are no other ships. There are no other lights. There is only the wind and the waves. To some, this is terrifying. They call it the Great Silence, and they say it with a shiver. They interpret the silence as a graveyard. They think it means that civilizations destroy themselves before they can learn to say hello. They think it means we are the last ones left, or the first ones to arrive. They think we are stranded on a desert island in a dead ocean. Tone, warm, resolving, comforting. But tonight, I want you to feel the peace of the silence. I want you to reinterpret the data. What if the silence is not a tragedy? What if it is a choice? Think about the nature of a library. When you walk into a great library, with its high ceilings and rows of books, what is the first thing you notice? It is quiet. It is not quiet because it is empty. It is quiet because it is full of people who are reading. It is quiet because the people there respect the silence. They know that noise is a distraction. They know that to think, to dream, to learn, you need peace. What if the universe is not a graveyard, but a library? What if the civilizations out there are not dead, but simply polite? What if they have evolved past the need for constant chatter? Humanity is a young species. We are like a toddler who has just learned to speak. We love the sound of our own voices. We shout, we scream, we sing, we broadcast everything we do. We are messy and loud. But perhaps, as a civilization gets older, it gets quieter. Perhaps it learns that there is more value in listening than in talking. Perhaps the silent neighbors are simply enjoying their privacy. Imagine living in a house in the country. Your nearest neighbor is a mile away, over the hill. You know they are there. You can see the smoke from their chimney in the winter, but you do not call them every day. You do not shine a spotlight into their windows. You respect their distance, and they respect yours. The silence between your houses is not a sign of hostility. It is a sign of good fences. It is a sign of comfort. The stars are far apart for a reason. The distances in space are vast. It takes light 4 years to get to the nearest star. It takes 100,000 years to cross the galaxy. These distances are the walls of our cosmic house. They are thick, soundproof walls. They ensure that we have our own space, our own room, our own quiet. We have spent 80 years waiting for the phone to ring. We have stared at the receiver, willing it to light up. Why don't they call, we ask? Don't they like us? Are they not there? But consider the relief of a phone that doesn't ring. Think about your own life. Think about the pressure of the notification, the little red dot, the chime, the vibration in your pocket, the constant demand for a response. Where are you? What are you doing? Look at this. Reply to me. It is exhausting, isn't it? The constant echo, the constant ping-pong of communication. It keeps you tethered. It keeps you shallow. It keeps you from sinking into the deep, restorative waters of your own mind. Now, look at the stars again. They are the ultimate introverts. They have been sitting in the dark for billions of years, perfectly content. They do not feel the need to update their status. They do not feel the need to check their messages. They are self-contained. They are complete. The fact that they have not answered our calls is a form of validation. It is the universe telling us, you don't have to answer either. If an advanced civilization, one that has survived for 1,000,000 years and mastered the secrets of physics, chooses to be silent, then maybe silence is the superior state. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they know that the best way to exist is to simply be, without needing to broadcast that being to everyone else. You can learn from the silent neighbors. You can adopt the philosophy of the empty sky. You are allowed to be unreachable. You are allowed to be a lighthouse that just shines without looking for a ship. Visualize yourself back in that lighthouse tower. The beam sweeps the dark water. Sweep, dark. You are watching the horizon, and you realize, with a sudden, warm wave of relaxation, that you don't want to see another light out there. If another light appeared, it would mean complications. It would mean guests. It would mean you have to put on your uniform and go down the stairs and open the door and make tea and make conversation. It would mean the end of your solitude. It would mean the end of your peace. But the horizon is dark. The ocean is empty. And that is exactly how you like it. You are the king or queen of your own silent rock. You have the entire night to yourself. The silence of the stars is not a rejection. It is a permission slip. It is the universe saying, I am not going to bother you. I am not going to interrupt you. I am going to leave you alone so you can sleep. The radio telescopes are still listening. The astronomers are still drinking their coffee. The computers are still crunching the numbers, and the static is still hissing its soft, white noise. It is a lullaby. It is the sound of a universe that is too big to be small, too old to be in a rush, and too wise to be loud. The echo never comes, and thank goodness for that. Let the disappointment of the failed search dissolve. Replace it with the satisfaction of the successful quiet. We have looked for monsters, and we found none. We have looked for invaders, and we found none. We have looked for noise, and we found peace. We are alone in our room. The door is locked, the phone is off, and outside the window, the galaxy is keeping its distance, respectful and calm. Tone, intrigue, transition to next chapter. But as we settle into this comfort, a new thought arises. A deeper question floats up from the bottom of the mind. We have assumed that the silence is just a preference. We have assumed the neighbors are just polite. But what if there is another reason? What if the silence is not just a luxury, but a survival strategy? What if the forest is dark because the animals know that lighting a fire attracts attention? Let us drift deeper into the woods now. Let us leave the lighthouse and walk into the trees. Let us explore the idea that the silence is not just peaceful, it is protective. Let us discover the wisdom of the hidden things. Let us learn why the universe is hiding. Chapter 2: The Hunter and the Hider. Tone, mysterious, gentle, atmospheric, slightly lower pitch. Let us leave the lighthouse behind for a moment. Let us step away from the edge of the ocean and turn our faces toward the trees. That you are walking into a deep, ancient forest. It is late at night. The sun has been gone for hours, and the moon is filtering through the high canopy of the pine trees, painting the forest floor in patches of silver and black. The air here is different from the ocean air. It is still. It smells of pine needles, damp earth, and old wood. It is a scent that triggers a primal memory, a feeling of being in a place that has not changed for thousands of years. Slow down sensory focus as you walk along the soft, mossy path. Notice the soundscape, or rather, notice the lack of it. During the day, this forest is loud. The birds are calling to one another, staking their claims on the branches. The squirrels are chattering. The insects are buzzing in the sunbeams. The forest is a marketplace of noise, a busy exchange of information. But at night, the marketplace closes. The silence descends like a heavy mist. You might hear the snap of a twig under your boot, or the rustle of the wind in the needles, but the animals themselves are quiet. Why? If you look closely into the shadows, you might see the amber reflection of eyes. A fox is watching from the underbrush. An owl is perched silently on a high limb, its feathers designed to muffle the sound of its own flight. A deer is standing perfectly still in a clearing, its ears swiveling like radar dishes. The forest is not empty, it is full. It is teeming with life, but it is a life that has learned the value of silence. Tone, educational but soothing in the daylight. Noise is a way to find a mate or defend a territory. But in the dark, noise is a liability. In the dark, to be loud is to be vulnerable. To be loud is to reveal your location to things that might not have your best interests at heart. And so, the animals of the forest play a game. It is a serious game, a game of survival, but it is also a game of intelligence. They cloak themselves in the quiet, they wear the darkness like a shield. The fox does not bark at the moon because he is afraid. He stays silent because he is smart. The deer does not crash through the bushes. She moves like a ghost because she knows that invisibility is her greatest defense. This silence is not born of terror. It is born of wisdom. It is the sophisticated strategy of a creature that understands the rules of the world. To survive in the forest, you must become the forest. You must blend in. You must disappear. Tone, shifting to the cosmic grand scale now. Let us take this wisdom and apply it to the sky. There is a concept in astronomy called the dark forest theory. It is a famous idea, often whispered about in late-night conversations or written in science fiction novels. Usually, it is framed as a scary story. It paints the universe as a dangerous place, filled with hunters and predators, where civilizations must hide or be destroyed. It suggests that the reason we hear no signals is because everyone else is too terrified to make a sound. Tone, reassuring, soft, comforting. But tonight, let us strip away the fear. Let us wash away the Hollywood drama of laser battles and invasions. Let us look at the dark forest through the eyes of the sleepy, wise observer. What if the dark forest is not a war zone, but simply a neighborhood where everyone values their privacy? What if the universe is not holding its breath in fear, but simply settling down for a long, comfortable night of peace? Imagine the civilizations of the galaxy not as hunters, but as the quiet ones. Picture a civilization that is millions of years older than humanity. They have survived their infancy. They have survived their technological adolescence. They have solved the problems of energy and resources. They have grown past the need for conquest. They've seen enough of the universe to know that it is vast, unpredictable, and filled with the unknown. These quiet ones have learned the same lesson as the fox and the owl. They have learned that broadcasting your location to the cosmos is unnecessary. Why shout into the void? Why invite strangers to your door? Strangers are unpredictable. Strangers bring complications. Strangers bring noise. And if there is one thing an ancient, weary civilization values above all else, it is their peace and quiet. So, they turn off the lights. They mute the radio. They build their homes in the valleys of space where the signals cannot reach. They cloak their planets in efficient, silent technologies. They do not hide because they are cowering in a corner. They hide because they are intelligent. They hide because they have realized that true power doesn't need to announce itself. True mastery is the ability to observe without being observed. Tone, metaphorical, the storm. Think of the hunter in this theory not as a monster with a gun, but as a force of nature, like a storm. When you see a storm gathering on the horizon, when the sky turns green and the thunder begins to roll, you do not stand on your roof and scream at it. You do not try to fight the wind. You respect the power of the storm. You understand that the storm is blind and vast and indifferent. So, what do? You go inside, you close the shutters, you lock the door, you light a candle, and you sit in the warm safety of your living room. You hide from the storm. Is this an act of cowardice? No, it is an act of prudence. It is the smartest thing you can do. By withdrawing from the outside world, you ensure your safety. By making yourself small, you survive the big events. The quiet ones are simply civilizations that have decided to stay indoors. They treat the open universe like a stormy ocean, a place to be traversed with caution, not a place to build a house. They build their houses in the calm, hidden eddies of the galaxy. They wrap themselves in the duvet of invisibility. Tone, deep relaxation, positive reframing. This reframes the great silence completely. We are not looking at a graveyard. We are looking at a library, filled with people who are reading quietly in comfortable chairs. The reason we don't hear them is that they are being polite. They are minding their own business. They are focused on their own internal worlds, their own art, their own dreams. They have no interest in the noisy, chaotic drama of first contact. This brings us to humanity. If the universe is a forest of wise, silent animals, then what are we? We are the toddler wandering through the woods with a drum set. We are the camper who has lit a bonfire the size of a house and is singing songs at the top of our lungs. We are broadcasting our television shows, our radar pings, and our pop music to every star within 100 light years. We are loud, we are messy, we are undeniably distinct. In the dark forest theory, this makes us vulnerable. It makes us the easy target. But in our sleepy science version, it just makes us young. We are noisy because we are new. We are like a child who hasn't learned yet that you use your inside voice in the library. We are excited to be here. We are excited to have discovered radio waves and rockets. We want to show off. We want to say, look at us, we exist. The quiet ones are likely watching us, but they are not watching with malice. They are watching with the patient amusement of a grandparent, watching a noisy grandchild. They know that eventually, we will get tired. Eventually, the novelty of shouting will wear off. Eventually, we will realize that the silence is nicer than the noise. We will learn the wisdom of the forest. We will learn to dim the lights and lower our voices. We will grow up, and in growing up, we will grow quiet. Tone, personal connection, blanket fort. There is a deep comfort in this idea. It suggests that our current state of anxiety, our frantic search for connection, our worry about being alone is just a phase. It is a temporary state of adolescence. The destiny of humanity is not to conquer the stars in a blaze of glory. It is to settle down among them. Our destiny is to join the quiet ones in the comfort of the shadows. Think about the act of hiding itself. When you were a child, did you ever build a fort? Did you ever drape a blanket over 2 chairs and crawl inside? Do you remember the feeling of that space? It was small, it was dark, but it wasn't scary. It was the safest place in the world. The walls of the blanket separated you from the rest of the house. Inside the fort, you were invisible. You were the master of your own tiny domain. The outside world couldn't see you, and therefore, it couldn't touch you. Hiding is a form of hugging yourself. It is a way of creating a boundary that says, here, I am safe. The dark forest is just a galaxy-sized blanket fort. The civilizations out there are tucked away inside their nebulas and their star systems, reading by the light of their own suns, enjoying the coziness of isolation. They are safe because they are hidden. They are at peace because they are hard to find. Tone, direct address to listener sleepy when you lie in your bed tonight. You are practicing the wisdom of the forest. You are engaging in the ancient biological strategy of the hider. Think about it. You have turned off the lights to make yourself less visible. You have pulled the covers up to your chin to camouflage your body. You have stopped moving to blend in with the stillness of the room. You are mimicking the deer in the clearing. You are mimicking the advanced alien civilization in the dark nebula. You are making yourself small to make yourself safe. There is a profound relief in admitting that you do not want to be found. For so much of our lives, we are told that we must be seen. We must be visible at work, visible on social media, visible to our friends and family. We are told that success looks like a spotlight, but the forest tells us a different story. The forest says that success looks like a shadow. Success looks like a fox slipping unnoticed through the brush, perfectly integrated with its environment, perfectly at peace, perfectly free. To be hidden is to be free from expectation. If no one knows where you are, no one can ask you for anything. If no one can see you, no one can judge you. In the dark, you are released from the performance of being a person. You can just be a consciousness, a heartbeat, a warm presence in the cool night. The alien civilizations understand this freedom. That is why they do not answer the phone. They're enjoying the freedom of the unlisted number. They're enjoying the bliss of the disconnect. They have looked at the option of galactic fame, and they have chosen the luxury of galactic anonymity. The storm of the universe may rage outside, Stars may explode, black holes may collide, galaxies may merge, but the hiders are safe. They are tucked away in their burrows, deep beneath the surface of the noise. They are waiting out the weather in the warmth of their own worlds. As you lie here, feel the protection of your own hiding place. Your bedroom is your burrow. Your duvet is your camouflage. You are safe from the hunters of stress and worry. They cannot find you here. You have gone off the grid. You have entered the forest, and you have become one with the quiet. The silence of the room is your shield. It pushes back against the chaos of the day. It creates a bubble of neutrality around you. You are not a target tonight. You are a secret. You are a whisper that has faded into the wind. The dark forest is not a place of terror. It is a place of rest. It is the universe's way of saying that everyone deserves a place where they cannot be disturbed. It is the cosmic guarantee of privacy. We are all just travelers seeking a quiet patch of woods to lay down our heads. And as we settle into our hiding spot, as we pull the leaves of the forest over us like a blanket, we can look out at the campfire we have lit. We can look at the noisy, bright world of Earth and wonder how long until the fire dies down, how long until we, too, learn to enjoy the dark. Let us watch the embers of our own noise fade. Let us see what happens when the campfire burns low and the true, comforting darkness of the woods moves in to embrace us. Let us find the peace in the fading of the light. Section 2. 2. The campfire in the woods. Tone, warm, glowing, visualization focused. Visualize yourself sitting in the center of that vast, ancient forest we explored earlier. The trees are tall pillars of shadow, stretching up to block out the stars. The ground is a soft carpet of pine needles and moss. The air is cool and still. In the middle of this immense darkness, there is a single point of light. It is a campfire. It is roaring with energy. The yellow and orange flames are licking upward, snapping and popping as they consume the wood. Sparks are flying up into the chimney of the night, bright and brief, vanishing as they hit the cool air. This fire is aggressive. It is pushing back the shadows. It creates a circle of light that feels safe if you are sitting inside it, but if you were standing a mile away, watching from the ridge, it would look like a beacon. It would look like a flare. In a forest defined by its shadows, a fire is an anomaly. It is a statement. It says, something is happening here. Someone is awake. Someone is burning energy. Earth is that campfire. For the last 100 years, humanity has been gathering wood and throwing it onto the flames. We've been burning with a frantic, joyous intensity. We discovered the power of electricity. We discovered the magic of radio. We discovered how to turn our voices into invisible waves that can travel through walls, through clouds, and through the vacuum of space. And like a child who has just discovered they can yell, we have been shouting at the top of our lungs. Tone descriptive, the radio bubble. Think of the 20th century as a massive explosion of noise. Every television broadcast, every radio show, every radar ping from a military base, every cell phone call, it all created a signal. And those signals didn't just stay on Earth. They leaked, they escaped our atmosphere and rushed out into the dark at the speed of light. Astronomers call this the radio bubble. Imagine a giant, invisible sphere expanding outward from Earth, growing larger by 1 light year every single year. It is a bubble of noise. It contains the history of our civilization. The leading edge of that bubble is now over 100 light years away. It is washing over distant stars. It is carrying the sounds of our jazz music, our soap operas, our news reports, and our wars to worlds that have known only silence for billions of years. To an observer sitting in the dark forest, Earth looks like a strobe light. We are pulsating with information. We are the noisy neighbor who moves into a quiet street and immediately throws a party that lasts for decades. We are the camper who doesn't know the rules of the woods, the one who sings loudly into the night, unaware that the other animals are watching from the brush, wondering why we are making such a fuss. This loudness is what makes the dark forest theory feel scary. If there are hunters in the woods, We have done everything possible to attract them. We have drawn a map to our front door. We have practically invited the universe to come and see us. We have been standing by the fire, waving our arms, casting giant, dancing shadows against the trees. Tone, softening, transition to ember. But stare into the fire for a moment. Watch the flames. A fire does not burn the same way forever. There is a life cycle to a fire. At the beginning, when the wood is fresh and the kindling is dry, it burns high and hot. It is chaotic. It crackles and spits. It consumes its fuel with a ravenous hunger. This is the bonfire phase. This is humanity in the 20th century. We were discovering our power, and we were using it with reckless abandon. We were inefficient. We wasted energy. We let our signals spill out into space because we didn't know how to contain them. But look at the fire now. Look at the base of the logs. The towering yellow flames are beginning to lower. The erratic snapping and popping is settling down. The wood is breaking down into coals. The fire is transitioning. It is moving from the phase of blaze to the phase of ember. This is exactly what is happening to Earth right now. We are getting quieter. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? We have more technology today than ever before. We have more data, more phones, more connections. You would think we would be louder than ever, but the opposite is true. As our technology matures, it becomes efficient, and efficiency is silent. Think about how we used to communicate. We used to build massive radio towers that blasted signals in every direction, hoping that a tiny fraction of that energy would hit the receiving antenna in your living room. The rest of that energy, the 99% that missed the antenna, just kept going. It flew out into space, wasted. It was a leak. It was a shout. But now we use fiber optics. We take a thread of glass, thinner than a human hair, and we shoot a laser beam down the center of it. The light carries the information, but it doesn't leak. It stays trapped inside the glass. We can send the entire Library of Congress from New York to Tokyo, and not a single photon escapes into space. To an observer on Mars, that cable is invisible. To an observer on Alpha Centauri, that cable is silent. We are moving our noise underground. We are burying our signals in the earth and in the sea. We are switching from analog, which is messy and loud, to digital, which is compressed and quiet. Even our broadcasts to satellites are changing. We used to spray the sky with waves. Now we use tight, focused beams that lock onto the satellite like a spotlight. If you aren't standing directly in the beam, you hear nothing. The radio bubble is thinning. The bonfire of Earth is dying down. If there is an alien astronomer watching us from a distant star, they would see something very strange happening. They would see Earth brighten suddenly, flaring up with radio waves for a century, glowing hot and white in the radio spectrum. And then, just as mysteriously, they would see us start to fade. The noise would drop. The signals would become fainter. The party would seem to be ending. They might think we had died. They might think we had destroyed ourselves or run out of energy. But they would be wrong. We are not dying, we are maturing. We are simply putting a lampshade over the light bulb. We are drawing the curtains. We are learning how to keep our energy to ourselves. Tone, maturation, growing up. This is the transition from the noisy neighbor to the quiet resident. It is a natural part of growing up. Think of a teenager. A teenager is often loud. They slam doors. They play music with the bass turned up. They wear bright clothes. They are desperate to establish their identity, to be heard, to be acknowledged by the world. They are the bonfire. But then, the teenager becomes an adult. The adult values peace. The adult insulates the walls. The adult buys headphones. The adult realizes that they don't need the whole world to know what they are doing. They find contentment in the quiet of their own home. They settle down. They become the ember. The ember phase of the fire is actually hotter than the flame. The coals at the bottom of the fire pit hold more heat for longer than the flashy yellow tongues of fire ever could. But the heat is contained. It is a deep, steady, pulsing red glow. It doesn't blind you. It doesn't cast wild shadows. It just warms the circle. Earth is becoming an ember. We are becoming a glowing coal in the dark forest. We are still warm. We are still alive. We are still full of energy and culture and dreams. But we are no longer broadcasting those dreams to the void. We are keeping them for ourselves. We are turning inward. Tone, relief, safety. There is a tremendous relief in this idea. It means that we are accidentally joining the dark forest. We don't have to be afraid of the hidden ones out there because we are becoming one of them. We are putting on our own cloak of invisibility, not out of fear, but out of technological progress. We are evolving into camouflage. The campfire is dying down, and that is a good thing. Have you ever sat by a fire until the very end? The chaotic energy of the early evening is gone. The sparks have stopped flying. The wood has settled into a comfortable pile of glowing ash. The light is soft and dim, barely illuminating the trees around you. This is the cozy time. This is the time when the conversation drops to a whisper. This is the time when you lean in closer to the warmth. The darkness of the forest steps in closer, but it doesn't feel threatening anymore. It feels like a blanket being wrapped around your shoulders. The contrast between the bright fire and the dark woods is gone. The fire has accepted the darkness. The fire has become part of the night. Humanity is entering the cozy time. We are done shouting at the stars. We are done trying to be the center of attention in the galaxy. We are realizing that the universe is too big to fill with our noise, so we are stopping the attempt. We are letting the silence of the cosmos wash back over us. Imagine the Earth in a few hundred years. It is a silent sphere. It is humming with data, buzzing with life, glowing with the lights of cities. But to the outside observer, it is quiet. The radio bubble has drifted away, a shell of noise expanding into the void, leaving silence in its wake. We have become a ghost planet. We have become a mystery. We have retired from the stage of galactic history before we even really stepped onto it. And in that retirement, there is safety. If the hunters are out there, they will scan our sector and hear nothing. They will look for the bonfire and see only shadow. They will pass us by. We will be left alone to tend our garden, to raise our children, to sleep our sleep. The campfire in the woods is not a permanent state. It is a brief flash, a moment of transition between the silence of the primitive and the silence of the advanced. We are almost through the danger zone. We are almost through the loud phase. The embers are forming. The glow is stabilizing. Tone, personal application, sleepy feel the relaxation of that transition. You know what it is like to be loud when you don't want to be. You know what it is like to feel exposed, to feel like everyone is looking at you. It is exhausting. It takes so much effort to maintain the performance. But now, you can stop. You can step off the stage. You can let the fire die down. You can let the embers take over. The ember does not strive. The ember just is. It rests in its bed of ash, radiating warmth without effort. It is patient. It can last for the entire night. This is the future of our world, and it is the metaphor for your sleep tonight. You have burned brightly today. You have been the bonfire. You have consumed your fuel. You have cast your light. But now, the day is done. The wood is spent. It is time to let the flames drop. It is time to stop pushing back the shadows. Let the darkness come in. Let the forest floor reclaim the circle of light. Let your thoughts turn from the frantic, leaping yellow flames of the to-do list into the slow, deep, red glow of rest. You are becoming efficient. You are becoming quiet. You are becoming safe. The galaxy is a dark forest, yes, but it is a forest filled with glowing embers, hidden deep in the brush, invisible to one another, each one warm, each one safe, each one content in its own solitude. We are just one more ember joining the slumber, The fire is fading. The smoke is drifting up through the branches, disappearing into the stars. The crackling has stopped. There is only the soft hiss of the heat and the gentle breathing of the wind. We are no longer the noisy neighbor. We are the quiet resident. We have closed the door. We have drawn the shades. We have turned off the radio. We are home. And now that we are quiet, now that we have stopped shouting into the void, we can finally appreciate the true nature of the space around us. We can appreciate the distance. The distance that we used to think was a barrier is actually a gift. It is the moat around our castle. It is the lawn around our house. Let us look out from our fading campfire and measure the darkness. Let us see just how far away the neighbors really are, and why that distance is the most comforting thing of all. Let us explore the sanctuary of distance. Tone, floating, weightless, serene. Imagine that you are floating on your back in the middle of a warm, boundless ocean. The water supports you completely. You are weightless, suspended between the water and the air. The sky above is a perfect, cloudless blue. The water below is a deep, clear indigo. But the most important thing about this ocean is its size. If you were to lift your head and look around, you would see no land, you would see no ships, you would see no birds. There is only the horizon, a smooth, unbroken line where the blue of the sea meets the blue of the sky. Tone, contrast, slightly busier to emphasize the change in our daily lives. We are used to things being close. We are used to crowded elevators, busy streets, and houses that sit shoulder to shoulder. We are used to the feeling of being touched, bumped, and jostled by the world. We are used to the immediacy of presence. If someone wants you, they can tap you on the shoulder. If a car honks, you hear it instantly. The world is tight. It is compressed. It is immediate. Tone, relief, expansion, slowing down. But here, in this ocean, there is no immediacy. There is only distance. And in this distance, there is a profound safety, because there is no land nearby. There is no traffic, because there are no ships. There are no collisions. The sheer vastness of the water acts as a buffer. It pushes the rest of the world away from you. It creates a circle of solitude that is miles and miles wide. You are untouchable here, not because you are hiding behind a wall, but because you are shielded by space. Now, let us take this feeling of the ocean and apply it to the stars. We often think of space as empty, and we say that word with a sense of lack. We think emptiness is a bad thing. But tonight, I want you to feel the texture of that emptiness. I want you to feel it as a substance. It is not nothing. It is the deep water of the cosmos. It is a thick, protective fluid that fills the gaps between the worlds. Let us leave the earth behind for a moment and swim out into this deep water. We start at our home port, the sun. It is the lighthouse of our solar system, casting its warm, yellow glow over the planets. We swim past Mercury, past Venus, past Earth. We drift past the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn, floating like colorful buoys in the harbor. We drift past the icy outer worlds, the last outposts of our little island chain. And then we reach the edge. We cross the heliopause, the boundary where the wind from the sun finally dies down and gives way to the stillness of the interstellar medium. This is the moment we leave the shore. This is the moment the continental shelf drops away and the water turns deep and black. We are now in the open ocean. Ahead of us lies the gap. It is the space between our sun and the next nearest star, a neighbor called Proxima Centauri. On a map of the galaxy, these two stars look like they are right next to each other. They are dots touching on a page, but the map is a lie. The map cannot show the true scale of the water. Tone or emphasis on scale to understand the safety of our position. We must understand the scale of this gap. Imagine that the sun is a grain of sand. If the sun is a grain of sand, the earth is a microscopic speck of dust floating an inch away. Now, where is the next grain of sand? Where is Proxima Centauri? Is it a foot away? Is it across the room? No. If our sun is a grain of sand in your hand, the next nearest star is 4 miles away. Think about that. 4 miles of empty space between two tiny grains of sand. Between them, there is nothing but the void. There is nothing but the deep, silent ocean. This is the true geography of the universe. It is not a crowded city. It is a scattering of lonely islands separated by immense, impossible stretches of sea. Tone, soft, drifting, peaceful. Let us swim through those 4 miles of emptiness. Let us float in the space between the stars. It is quiet here. It is the quietest place you can imagine. The noise of the sun, the crackle of its flares, the roar of its fusion has faded to a whisper, and then to silence. The light of the sun has shrunk to a pinprick, just one more bright star in a field of diamonds. The water of this ocean is not made of water. It is made of the interstellar medium. It is a thin, ghostly soup of gas and dust. Drifting here, you might encounter a single atom of hydrogen. It is floating alone, tumbling in the dark. It might travel for 1,000 years before it bumps into another atom. That is how empty it is. That is how peaceful it is. Occasionally, you might drift through a cloud of dust, microscopic grains of carbon and silicon, the smoke from a fire that burned out millions of years ago. These clouds are not thick like the clouds on Earth. They are thinner than the finest mist. They are like a breath held in the dark. They gently filter the starlight, softening the view, creating a veil of privacy between the worlds. Tone, reassuring. The speed limit, this vast empty ocean, is not a barrier to travel. It is a barrier to trouble. Think of the laws of physics that govern this space. The most famous law is the speed of light. We are taught that the speed of light is fast. We are told it is the fastest thing in the universe. It travels at 186,000 miles per second. It can circle the Earth 7 times in a single heartbeat. But out here, in the deep ocean, the speed of light is not fast. It is slow. It is agonizingly, wonderfully slow. To cross the gap between our grain of sand and the neighbor's grain of sand 4 miles away, light takes 4 years. 4 years. Think about what that means. Light is the speed of information. It is the speed of news. It is the speed of a phone call. It is the speed of cause and effect. If something happens on Proxima Centauri today, if the star flares up, or if the civilization there sends a message, or if they decide to launch a ship, we will not know about it for 4 years. The news has to swim across the ocean. It has to paddle through the dark, mile after mile, year after year. This is the cosmic speed limit. And while it frustrates the scientists who want to explore, it should comfort the soul that wants to rest. The cosmic speed limit is the universe's way of ensuring peace. It prevents things from happening too quickly. It prevents chaos from spreading. In our world, bad news travels instantly. A tweet, a headline, a disaster. It hits us the second it happens. We are constantly bombarded by the now. But in the galaxy, there is no now. There is only history. By the time the light from a distant star reaches our eyes, the event is already over. The danger is already past. The message is already old. The distance acts as a filter. It creates a lag time that softens every blow. It turns a scream into a whisper. It turns a flash into a glow. It turns a crisis into a memory. Tone, cozy, the long driveway. Imagine if you lived in a house where the driveway was 4 years long. Imagine if anyone who wanted to visit you had to walk for 4 years to get to your front door. How safe would you feel? How quiet would your life be? You would never have a surprise visitor. You would never be caught off guard. You would see them coming from a lifetime away. You would have years to prepare, or years to decide not to answer the door. This is the situation of Earth. We are insulated by the delay. The universe has quarantined us. not because we are sick, but because we are precious. It has placed us in a private garden and built a wall of distance so high and so thick that nothing can jump over it. We drift further through the gap. The sense of isolation here is profound, but it is not lonely. It is the feeling of being held in suspension. It is the feeling of a pause button that has been pressed and held down. The atoms here are not vibrating with heat. They are cool and slow. The dust grains are not rushing, they are drifting. The entire region between the stars is a monument to stillness. It is a sanctuary of distance. Think of the dark forest theory again. If there are hunters in the woods, the distance is the mud that slows them down. It is the fog that obscures their vision. It is the sheer size of the forest that makes finding anyone a statistical impossibility. If a civilization wanted to attack us, they would have to cross this ocean. They would have to build ships that can survive the voyage. They would have to pack enough food and fuel for generations. They would have to leave their homes, their families, and their sun, and float in the dark for centuries. And for what? To conquer a grain of sand. The distance makes conflict irrational. It makes war too expensive. It makes invasion a waste of time. The universe is too big to be conquered. It is designed to be shared, but shared from afar. It is designed for neighbors who wave from across the valley but never cross the fence. Tone, visualizing the destination, we finally approach Proxima Centauri. It grows brighter in our vision. It is not a yellow sun like ours, it is a red dwarf. It glows with a soft crimson light, like the embers of a dying fire. It is small and cool. It has planets of its own, huddled close to it for warmth. We have crossed the 4 miles. We have swum the ocean. And what do we find here? We find another island. We find another lonely outpost. If there is life on one of those planets, they are looking back at our sun. To them, our sun is just a bright star in the constellation of Cassiopeia. To them, we are the distant ones. We are the unreachable neighbors. They are insulated from us. Just as we are insulated from them, we cannot mess up their world, and they cannot mess up ours. The distance respects the sovereignty of every star. It allows every solar system to be its own experiment, its own story, unpolluted by the noise of the others. This is the wisdom of the galaxy's architecture. It separates things to save them. It creates space so that life can breathe. Tone, personal application, deeply relaxing as you lie in your bed. Feel the comfort of that separation. You are on Earth, deep inside the gravity well of the sun, protected by the magnetic fields, wrapped in the atmosphere, and insulated by 4 light years of absolute nothingness. You are the safest thing in the universe. You are a pearl hidden in a shell, hidden in a chest, buried at the bottom of the deepest sea. The ocean of time washes against the shores of our solar system, but it does not flood us. It keeps us distinct. It keeps us private. Imagine hanging a sign on the door of the solar system. It is a simple sign, painted on a plank of wood, drifting in the void past Pluto. It says, "Do not disturb," and the universe respects the sign. The laws of physics respect the sign. The speed of light respects the sign. The void respects the sign. You are untouchable. The problems of the galaxy, if there are any, are theoretical to you. They are stories told by light that is thousands of years old. They cannot reach you tonight. They cannot reach you tomorrow. They cannot reach you in this lifetime. You are suspended in the slow, amber fluid of the cosmos. You are preserved in the peace of the gap. Let the feeling of the deep ocean seep into your bones. You are weightless. You are drifting. The water is warm and dark. The shore is far away. The noise is gone. There is only the gentle rhythm of the drift, the slow expansion of the universe carrying you further and further away from the need to be anything other than what you are. You are safe in the sanctuary. You are hidden in the deep. The walls of the world have fallen away, replaced by the comforting, infinite walls of distance. And as we float here, suspended in the quiet between the stars, we might begin to realize something else. We might realize that this distance doesn't just stop enemies, it stops expectations. It stops the need to perform. If no one can reach us, they then we don't need to be ready for them. We don't need to be impressive. We just need to be. The universe is too big to care about our productivity. It is too wide to notice our stress. It drowns out our worries in the sheer volume of its silence. Let us explore this idea of functional laziness. Let us look at why the distance makes conflict not just difficult, but boring. Let us see how the universe imposes a barrier of boredom that protects us even more than the miles do. Let us see why the aliens are too lazy to hunt, and why that is the best news of all. Section 3. 2. The barrier of boredom. Tone, relaxed, slightly amused, reassuring. We have established that the universe is vast. We have swum across the 4-mile ocean between the grains of sand. We have felt the deep, insulating safety of the distance. But there is another layer to this protection, one that is perhaps even more comforting than the miles themselves. It is the simple, undeniable truth of effort. In our nightmares of the dark forest, we imagine the hunters as relentless. We imagine them as machines of pure will, willing to cross any distance, spend any amount of energy, and endure any hardship just to find us. We project our own human anxieties onto them, our drive for conquest, our need for expansion, our restless inability to sit still. We imagine that they want to come here. But let us look at the universe through the eyes of physics. Physics has a fundamental rule, a rule deeper than gravity or electromagnetism. It is the rule of the path of least resistance. In simple terms, the universe is lazy. Nature does not like to spend energy if it doesn't have to. A ball rolls downhill because it is easier than staying at the top. Water flows around a rock because it is easier than going through it. Electricity takes the shortest wire. Entropy, the force we spoke of earlier, is the ultimate expression of this laziness. Entropy wants everything to stop moving. It wants everything to cool down. It wants everything to rest. To fight against entropy, to build a ship, to launch it, to accelerate it to near light speed, to navigate the void for centuries, requires a staggering amount of effort. It requires a rebellion against the natural state of the cosmos. To cross the dark forest is not just a road trip, it is an act of supreme exertion. Tone, analytical but gentle, doing the math. Let us do the math of the invasion, but let us do it gently. Imagine a civilization that wants to come to Earth. They are advanced. They have technology we can only dream of. But they are still bound by the laws of thermodynamics. To send a ship across the 4 light years from Proxima Centauri, just a small hop in the galaxy, requires energy. If they want to get here in a human lifetime, they have to go fast. To accelerate a ship the size of a cruise liner to a speed where the journey takes decades instead of millennia, they would need to burn the equivalent of their entire planet's energy output for a year. They would have to harvest the power of their sun, focus it into a beam, and push. Think of the cost. Think of the waste. Every second of that journey is a struggle against the drag of the void. Every mile is a fight against the inertia of matter. And for what? This brings us to the barrier of boredom. Why would they come? In the movies, they come for our water. But the universe is full of water. There are comets floating in the dark that are nothing but massive, pure snowballs. There are moons made of ice. There are clouds of vapor in the nebula that hold more water than all the oceans on Earth combined. To come to Earth for water is like driving 1,000 miles to steal a cup of tap water from a neighbor. When you live next to a glacier, do they come for our gold, our minerals, our wood? The asteroids are made of gold. The planets are made of minerals. The universe is practically made of raw materials. They are floating around everywhere, free for the taking. With no gravity well to fight and no angry monkeys to deal with, there is nothing on Earth that is unique enough to justify the trip. We are a standard issue planet, circling a standard issue star, made of standard issue atoms. To an advanced civilization, we are not a treasure chest. We are a convenience store that is just too far away to bother with. Tone, dismantling fear, This realization dismantles the fear of the hunter. The hunter isn't coming because the hunter is logical. The hunter has done the math. The hunter has looked at the fuel gauge, looked at the distance, looked at the payoff, and said, meh, it's not worth it. The laziness of physics is our greatest defense. It suggests that as civilizations become more advanced, they don't become more aggressive, they become more efficient, and the ultimate efficiency is staying home. Think about the trajectory of our own lives. When we are young, we want to go everywhere. We want to travel, to conquer, to see the world. We have fear of missing out. We spend energy recklessly. But as we get older, as we get wiser, the radius of our desire shrinks. We realize that the comfort of our own living room is often superior to the hassle of the airport. We realize that we have everything we need right here. We start to value the staycation, tone, retirement of the aliens now. Project this onto a civilization that is 1,000,000 years old. They have seen everything. They have mapped the galaxy with their telescopes. They have solved the mysteries of science. They have mastered their environment. They have unlimited energy from their own star. They have eliminated disease and hunger. What do they have left to do? They have reached the retirement age of history. They are not looking for new worlds to conquer. They are looking for a good nap. Imagine the aliens not as warriors in spiked armor, but as ancient, sleepy beings who have simply won the game of survival. They have reached the end of the level. There are no more bosses to fight. There are no more points to score. So, what do? They turn inward. They build virtual worlds. They create simulations of perfection where they can live out 1,000 lifetimes in the blink of an eye, without ever leaving their planet. They explore the infinite landscapes of art and mathematics. They spend eons composing a single symphony. They are not hiding in the dark forest because they are trembling in fear. They are hiding because they are busy enjoying their leisure. They are hiding because they don't want to be interrupted by the doorbell. Imagine a civilization that has achieved the ultimate luxury, the luxury of having absolutely nothing to do. They have automated their farming. They have automated their manufacturing. They have automated their governance. The machines take care of the body, so the mind is free to drift. They spend their days in a state of functional laziness. They float in anti-gravity pools. They dream. They rest. To them, Earth is just a noisy construction site down the street. It's loud, it's messy, and it's exhausting to look at. Why would they want to get involved? Why would they want to come here and manage our problems? That sounds like work. And they have evolved past work. The barrier of boredom protects us because we are simply too much trouble. We are high maintenance. We are the drama of the galaxy. And the quiet ones have no appetite for drama. They have curated their existence to be smooth, frictionless, and soft. Tone, permission to rest, cosmic laziness. This perspective shifts the silence of the universe from a spooky mystery to a relatable mood. The universe is quiet because everyone is chilling out. The universe is quiet because the aliens are on the couch, and the remote is too far away, and they don't want to get up. There is a deep, resonant permission in this idea. If the most advanced beings in the cosmos, the ones who have figured out the secrets of existence, have chosen to spend their time doing nothing, then maybe doing nothing is the highest form of existence. Maybe laziness is not a vice. Maybe it is a virtue. Maybe it is the goal. We spend so much of our lives trying to be productive. We measure our worth by our output. We feel guilty if we sit still. We feel anxious if we aren't moving forward. We are trying to be the rocket ship, burning fuel, fighting inertia, pushing against the fabric of reality. But the dark forest tells us to be the planet. It tells us to sit back and let gravity do the work. It tells us that the ultimate achievement is not to go somewhere, but to be happy where we are. You, right now, lying in your bed, are emulating the advanced civilizations. You have stopped moving. You have stopped working. You have stopped conquering. You have gathered your resources, your pillows, your blankets, your darkness, and you have created a microcosm of peace. You have retired for the night. You have looked at the effort required to get up and do one more thing. check one more email, wash one more dish, worry about one more problem, and you have decided, wisely, that it is not worth the energy. You have hit the barrier of boredom with your own day, and that is a victory. That is a sign of intelligence. The hunter of your anxiety wants you to get up. It wants you to stay vigilant. It wants you to scan the horizon for threats. But the hider in your soul knows better. The hider knows that the threats are distant and the cost of engaging them is too high. The hider knows that the bed is warm. Let yourself sink into this cosmic laziness. Feel the heaviness of your limbs. That heaviness is not exhaustion, it is efficiency. It is your body conserving energy. It is your biology aligning with the physics of the universe. Entropy wants you to rest. The stars want you to rest. The aliens want you to rest. There is no invasion coming. There is no fleet of ships burning across the void. The ocean is empty because everyone is staying home. The forest is dark because everyone is sleeping. The universe is a vast collection of beings who have all decided, at the same time, that they are just too tired to fight. It is a galaxy-wide truce, signed with the ink of exhaustion. You stay there, and I'll stay here, and we'll both just drift. That is the agreement. That is the treaty of the Milky Way. And you are a signatory to that treaty. You are doing your part for galactic peace by closing your eyes and refusing to participate in the chaos. So, let the concept of invasion fade away. Replace it with the concept of evasion. We are all evading the noise. We are all evading the work. We are all finding our own little corner of the woods, curling up in the leaves and letting the world spin without us for a while. The barrier of boredom is a wall that stands tall and strong. It is made of apathy in the best possible sense. It is made of a lack of interest in conflict. It protects you from the outside, and it protects the outside from you. Safe behind this wall, we can finally let our guard down completely. We don't need to listen for footsteps. We don't need to watch the door. The only thing coming through that door is the silence. And as the silence fills the room, as the laziness of the universe seeps into your muscles, you might begin to feel a new sensation. It is not just the absence of fear, it is the presence of joy. It is the joy of being unimportant. It is the joy of being overlooked. We often think we want to be special. We want to be the chosen one. But being chosen is heavy. Being chosen means you have a job to do. What if the real gift is being ignored? Let us move now to the pleasure of the shadow. Let us explore why being the wallflower of the galaxy is the most liberating role you can play. Let us discover the freedom of the shadow and why the best place to be in the dark forest is the one place where no one is looking. Let us step out of the light for a moment. Let us step away from the fire, away from the lighthouse beam, and away from the center of the room. Imagine that you are at a crowded party. The music is loud, the air is warm, and the room is packed with people. In the center of the room, there is a spotlight. Standing in that light is the life of the party. They are telling stories. They are laughing. They are radiating energy. Everyone is looking at them. Everyone is waiting to see what they will do next. To some, that spotlight looks like success. But to you, right now, it looks like work. It looks like exhaustion. Because you know that the person in the light cannot stop. They have to keep performing. They have to keep smiling. They have to maintain the character they have created. They are trapped by the attention of the room. Now, imagine that you quietly back away. You slip through the crowd, unnoticed. You find a heavy velvet curtain at the edge of the room, and you step behind it. You find a quiet corner in the shadows. Suddenly, the noise of the party is muffled. The heat of the spotlight is gone. You are still in the room, but you are no longer of the room. You can see the guests, but they cannot see you. You have become a wallflower. In our culture, we use that word as an insult. We think of the wallflower as someone who is afraid to dance, someone who is missing out on the fun. But the wallflower knows a secret. The wallflower knows that the shadow is more comfortable than the stage. The wallflower knows that there is a profound freedom in being the one who watches, rather than the one who is watched. Tone, physical relaxation cues. When you are hidden in the shadow of the curtain, you can relax your face. You don't have to smile if you don't want to. You don't have to nod your head. You don't have to think of a clever thing to say. You can simply observe. You can let your shoulders drop. You can breathe. The pressure of being a person dissolves, and you are left with the pure, uncomplicated sensation of existing. This is the psychological heart of the dark forest theory. We have been talking about aliens and spaceships and radio waves, but really, we are talking about the burden of being known. Think about your daily life. Think about how much energy you spend on the act of being known. You have a name. You have a job title. You have a reputation. You have a social media profile. You have a phone number. All of these things are hooks that the world uses to grab you. They are the coordinates that tell the world where to aim its expectations. Every time your phone buzzes, it is the world tugging on one of those hooks. It is a request for a performance. Be the employee. Be the friend. Be the responsible adult. Be the funny one. You are constantly switching masks, stepping into different spotlights, trying to keep the audience happy. It is a heavy load to carry, isn't it? The backpack of identity, the luggage of visibility, tone, reassuring. The great escape now. Look at the dark forest again. The civilizations that are hiding in the dark are not cowards. They are simply tired of the performance. They have realized that the ultimate luxury in the universe is anonymity. To be anonymous is to be weightless. If no one knows you exist, no one can expect anything from you. If the galaxy doesn't know Earth is here, the galaxy cannot ask us for our water. It cannot ask us for our labor. It cannot ask us to join its federation or fight its wars or buy its products. We are free. The joy of being unnoticed is the joy of the empty inbox. It is the joy of the cancelled meeting. It is the joy of walking through a city where no one knows your name. Let us apply this relief to the Earth itself. Visualize our planet as that loud guest in the center of the galactic party. For 100 years, we have been dancing on the table, shouting our radio waves into the void, begging for attention. Look at us. We are here. We are special. But now, imagine the Earth stepping down. Imagine the planet getting tired of the noise. It steps out of the spotlight. It walks to the edge of the solar system. It finds a quiet patch of shadow behind a nebula, and it sits down. It pulls the darkness of space around its shoulders like a heavy, black cloak. It covers its lights. It silences its radio. It disappears. Feel the immense, planetary sigh of relief that accompanies that movement. The Earth is no longer auditioning for the role of advanced civilization. It is no longer trying to impress the neighbors. It has vanished from the stage. To the rest of the universe, we are gone. We are just a blank spot on the map. A hunter scanning the sky would see nothing but background radiation. A traveler passing by would see only a dark star system, silent and sleeping. We have become the wallflower of the Milky Way. Tone, cool, refreshing, the shade, and in that obscurity we find our safety. The shadow of the dark forest is not a cold, scary place. It is a cool, restful place. It is the shade of a great oak tree on a hot summer day. It protects us from the glare of the galactic sun. It protects us from the heat of interaction. There is a concept in psychology called the spotlight effect. It is the feeling that everyone is looking at you, that everyone is judging your mistakes, that every flaw is illuminated. It creates anxiety. It makes you self-conscious. It makes you stiff. The dark forest is the cure for the spotlight effect. It is the realization that in a universe this big, there is no spotlight wide enough to find you. You are hidden by the sheer scale of the stage. You are obscured by the billions of other stars. You are lost in the crowd of galaxies. And being lost is a wonderful thing. When you are lost, you don't have to follow the map. When you are lost, you are off the grid. You are untraceable. Think about the fantasy of the fresh start. Have you ever daydreamed about moving to a new town where no one knows you? You imagine walking down the street, and it feels different. You feel lighter. You don't have to live up to your past. You don't have to explain yourself. You are a mystery. You are a ghost. This is what the dark forest offers us. It offers us a fresh start as a species. It offers us the chance to be a mystery. And tonight, it offers you the chance to be a mystery. Tone, guided visualization, bedtime, as you lie in your bed. I want you to visualize yourself putting on that cloak of darkness. Imagine the shadows of the room rising up to meet you. They are not threatening, they are welcoming. They are wrapping you in layers of soft, dark fabric. With each layer, you become less visible. Layer 1, you cover your name. You are no longer the person who has to answer to that label. The sound of your name belongs to the daytime. In the dark, you are nameless. You are just a consciousness, drifting in the quiet. Layer 2, you cover your responsibilities, the tasks of tomorrow, the emails of yesterday. They cannot see you through the cloak. You are hidden from your own to-do list. It can scan the room, but it will not find you. You have slipped off the radar. Layer 3, you cover your image. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to hold your body in a certain posture. You don't have to be attractive or professional or put together. You can be messy. You can be soft. You can be unformed. The darkness accepts you exactly as you are, because the darkness doesn't need to see you to hold you. You are disappearing. You are fading into the background. You are becoming part of the furniture, part of the air, part of the night. This disappearance is the ultimate act of self-care. We spend so much energy trying to stand out. We try to be outstanding students, outstanding employees, outstanding partners. We try to stand out from the crowd. But nature tells us that safety lies in blending in. The deer blends into the leaves. The fish blends into the water. The bird blends into the sky. They do not want to stand out. They want to belong. They want to be one with their environment. Tonight, you are blending in with the sleep. You are becoming camouflage. The freedom of the shadow is the freedom to stop trying. It is the freedom to be average. It is the freedom to be small. In the dark forest, there are no celebrities. There are no influencers. There are no VIPs. Everyone is equal in the dark. Everyone is just a quiet spark of warmth hiding in the leaves. The alien civilization that is 1,000,000 years old is hiding just as quietly as the fox in the woods. They have dropped their ego. They have dropped their need for recognition. They understand that recognition is a trap. If you are recognized, you can be targeted. If you are recognized, you can be categorized. If you are recognized, you are limited. But if you are unknown, you are infinite. Think of the vast, unmapped regions of the ocean. We don't know what is down there. It is a mystery. And because it is a mystery, it feels magical. It feels limitless. When you become unknown, you reclaim your own mystery. You become a secret territory. You become a map with no roads. Tone, deep acceptance, unimportance. Let the feeling of being unimportant wash over you like a gentle wave. I know that sounds strange. We are taught to want to be important. We are taught that importance is the goal of life. But importance is heavy. Importance is stress. The president is important. The CEO is important. The general is important. And they are tired. They never sleep well. The weight of the world is on their shoulders. But the pebble on the beach, it is unimportant. The leaf on the wind, it is unimportant. The cloud in the sky, it is unimportant. And they are free. The pebble can lie in the sun for 1,000 years, doing absolutely nothing, and it is perfect. The leaf can dance on the breeze, going wherever the wind takes it, without a plan or a deadline. The cloud can dissolve and reform and drift, purely at ease. Be the pebble, be the leaf. be the cloud, be the unimportant thing. In the cosmic scale, Earth is unimportant. We are a speck of dust in a sunbeam. And this is not an insult, it is a liberation. It means the universe is not waiting for us to fix it. The galaxy does not depend on us. The stars will keep burning whether we wake up tomorrow or not. This realization takes the weight of the world off your shoulders and places it where it belongs, on the ground. You don't have to carry the cosmos. It carries itself. You are free to simply exist. You are free to be a passenger. The dark forest is full of passengers. The silent civilizations are not driving the bus. They are sitting in the back, watching the scenery go by, enjoying the ride. They have let go of the wheel. They have realized that control is an illusion and visibility is a trap. So they have retreated to the shadows. They have built their gardens in the dark. And that is where we are going next. We are going to step fully into the shadow, past the curtain, and find the place where the hiders live. We are going to see what they do with all that time and all that privacy. We are going to visit the private garden. We are going to see a world that has turned inward, a world that has stopped looking out at the stars and started looking in at the soul. A world where the only thing that matters is the cultivation of peace. You are hidden now. You are safe. No one is watching. No one is judging. You are free to turn your back on the door and walk deeper into the beautiful, quiet dark. The spotlight has clicked off. The stage is empty. The audience has gone home. And you are finally, wonderfully, alone. We have found the shadow. We have wrapped ourselves in the cloak of invisibility. We have accepted the wisdom of the wallflower, that it is better to be safe and unknown than famous and exposed. But now that we are hidden, now that we have stepped out of the spotlight and behind the velvet curtain, a new question arises. What do we do back here? If the advanced civilizations of the dark forest are not exploring, and they are not conquering, and they are not broadcasting, what are they doing with all that time? If they have retreated from the galaxy, where have they gone? They have gone inside. Let us use our imagination to travel to one of these hidden worlds. Picture a star system deep in the quietest part of the Milky Way. On the outside, it looks unremarkable. It looks dark. Maybe there is a sphere of matter built completely around the star, blocking its light from escaping, capturing every photon of energy for private use. To the outside observer, it looks like a hole in the sky. It is a Dyson sphere, a shell of solid matter wrapping the sun like a peel wraps an orange. From the outside, it is a fortress. It is cold, black, and silent. It is the ultimate do not disturb sign. It repels prying eyes. It offers no landing pads, no welcome mats, no windows. It says, there is nothing here for you. But now, let us pass through the shell. Let us drift like a ghost through the miles of shielding, through the layers of rock and metal and ice, and emerge on the other side. Welcome to the private garden. Tone brightening soft ore paradise inside the shell. The world is a paradise because the star is trapped in the center. The entire interior surface is bathed in perpetual, perfect light. But it is not the harsh, blinding light of a naked sun. It is a filtered, golden glow. The civilizations here have engineered their weather. There are no storms. There are no droughts. There is only a gentle, eternal spring. Imagine a landscape that stretches not just to the horizon, but up and over your head, curving around the star, a contiguous continent the size of 1,000,000 Earths. It is a world of endless greenery, rolling hills covered in soft moss, forests of trees that chime like glass in the breeze, rivers of water that are pure and cool. It is quiet here. The noise of industry is gone. The noise of traffic is gone. The machines that run this world are buried deep beneath the surface, humming silently, maintaining the environment with perfect efficiency. The air smells of ozone and jasmine. The gravity is light, making every movement feel like floating. And what of the inhabitants? Where are the builders of this sphere? Look closely at the gardens. They are there. But they are not marching, they are not building skyscrapers. They are resting. Imagine beings that have evolved past the need for struggle. They have solved the riddle of survival. They have unlimited energy from their captive star. They have eliminated disease. They have stopped the aging process. They have nowhere to go because they have already built the perfect home. So, they spend their time dreaming. Picture them lying in great, soft pods of light, or resting in hammocks woven from energy, or simply floating in anti-gravity pools. They are connected to a vast planetary network of consciousness. They are exploring, yes, but they are not exploring outwards. They are exploring inwards. They have realized that the physical universe, the out there, is actually quite boring. It is mostly empty space, dead rocks, and balls of burning gas. Once you have seen one nebula, you have seen them all. Once you have catalogued the physics of a black hole, there is nothing new to discover. The physical world is finite, but the inner world, the world of the mind, that is infinite. These hidden civilizations have turned their attention to the creation of virtual realities, of art, of philosophy, of memory. They are living thousands of lives in the span of a single afternoon. In the morning, they might simulate what it is like to be a bird flying over a canyon. In the afternoon, they might compose a symphony that lasts for 100 years. In the evening, they might engage in a shared dream with 1,000,000 other minds, building a cathedral of pure thought. This is the great work of the quiet ones. They are not lazy, they are focused. But their focus is on the cultivation of the self, rather than the conquest of the other. Tone, monk versus tourist. Think of the difference between a tourist and a monk. The tourist rushes around the world, taking photos, seeing the sights, checking boxes, desperate to consume the exterior world. The monk sits in a cell or a garden and closes their eyes. The monk travels just as far, if not further, but they travel down into the depths of the soul. The dark forest is full of monks. It is a monastery of the stars. The civilizations have walled themselves off not just to stay safe, but to concentrate. They need the silence to hear the music of their own minds. There is a profound beauty in this turning inward. It challenges our human obsession with expansion. We are taught that more is better, more land, more money, more planets, more speed. We think that if we are not growing outwards, we are dying. But look at a seed. When a seed is planted, it grows roots down into the dark. Before it sends a shoot up into the light, it anchors itself. The hidden civilizations are deeply anchored. They have stopped the frantic, shallow growth of the weed, and they have begun the deep, slow growth of the redwood. They have found enough. Imagine the relief of reaching a point in history where you can say, "This is enough. We have enough space. We have enough stuff. We don't need to go to Alpha Centauri. We don't need to colonize the galaxy. We are happy here." That is the definition of paradise. Paradise is not a place where you can get everything you want. Paradise is a place where you no longer want anything else. In this private garden, the concept of waiting has vanished. They are not waiting for the aliens to arrive. They are not waiting for the future to get better. They are living in the eternal now. Every moment is savory. Every breath is a pleasure. They have turned their civilization into a comfortable bed. Tone, personal connection. And this brings us back to you. You, right now, are engaging in a microscopic version of this galactic strategy. Think about what you do when you go to bed. You build a wall, you lock the door, you close the curtains, you create a shell around yourself. Why? Because you want to enter your own private garden. When you close your eyes tonight, you are doing exactly what the advanced aliens are doing. You are shutting out the boring, repetitive, stressful physical universe of your job, your bills, and your chores. You are turning off the sensors that monitor the out there, and you are turning on the sensors that monitor the in here. You are preparing to dream. Dreams are our personal virtual realities. They are the simulations we run every night. In your dreams, you can fly, you can revisit the past, you can talk to people who are gone, you can experience emotions that are too big for the daytime, you can explore landscapes that defy the laws of physics. Your bed is your Dyson sphere. It is a protective shell that allows you to leave the harsh laws of reality behind and enter the limitless laws of the imagination. The dark forest theory tells us that this is the ultimate goal of evolution. We start as single-celled organisms, fighting for food in the mud. We evolve into animals, fighting for territory. We evolve into tool users, fighting for resources. We evolve into spacefarers, fighting for planets. But then, we evolve past the fight. We win the game. And the prize for winning the game is a soft pillow. The prize is the ability to stop moving. The prize is the ability to close your eyes and drift. If you feel guilty about sleeping, if you feel like you should be doing something productive, remember the quiet ones. Remember the civilizations that are 1 billion years ahead of us. They have calculated the best possible use of time, and they have decided that the best use of time is to rest. They have decided that the inner world is more valuable than the outer world. So, when you choose to sleep, you are not being lazy. You are being advanced. You are mimicking the behavior of the masters of the universe. You are prioritizing the cultivation of your own peace. Visualize your room again. See it as the interior of one of these hidden worlds. The air is still and temperature controlled. The light is dim and amber. The silence is thick. You are floating in your anti-gravity pool, your mattress. You are safe behind the shell. Outside, the galaxy is cold and empty and huge. Outside, there are comets crashing into moons. Outside, there are stars burning themselves out in a rage of fusion. But inside, there is only the slow rhythm of your breathing. Inside, there is only the softness of the sheets. Inside, there is a world that has been curated just for you. You are the architect of this garden. You have chosen the pillows. You have chosen the blankets. You have chosen the temperature. You have built a sanctuary that fits you perfectly. Enjoy it. Luxuriate in it. Feel the boundaries of your body softening. In the outer world, you have to be a solid object. You have to bump into things and be bumped back. But in the inner world, you can be fluid. You can be mist as you drift towards sleep. Imagine that you are walking through the landscape of that alien paradise. The grass is soft under your feet. The air is warm. There is a gentle river flowing nearby, and the sound of the water is the sound of your own blood rushing in your ears. You find a spot under a tree with silver leaves. There is a hammock waiting for you. You lie down. You look up at the golden ceiling of the world. You realize that you don't need to know what is happening outside the shell. Doesn't matter. The news doesn't matter. The politics of the galaxy don't matter. The only thing that matters is this feeling of suspension. The hiders have it right. They figured it out. They realize that the universe is a trap if you try to own it, but it is a cradle if you let it hold you. You are in the cradle now. The dark forest is dark because everyone has closed their eyes. It is dark because the light of consciousness has turned inward, illuminating the dreams of 1 trillion beings. The galaxy is glowing from the inside out. You are adding your light to that inner glow. By sleeping, you are joining the great, silent federation of dreamers. You are taking your place among the wise. So, let the walls of your room stand guard. They are strong. Let the distance of the night stand guard. It is vast. Let the silence stand guard. It is deep. You have reached the destination. You have found the private garden. There is no more hiking to do. There is no more searching. You can put down your pack. You can take off your boots. You can just be. And as we float here, in the perfect safety of our hidden world, we can look forward to one final transformation. We have seen how the distance protects us. We have seen how the hiding protects us. But there is one more layer of safety. It is the ultimate safety. It is the safety of the end. The universe is not just sitting still, it is expanding. The garden is getting bigger. The walls are moving outwards. The dark forest is growing so large that soon the trees will be too far apart to ever touch. Let us look at the final curtain. Let us explore the distant future where the universe pulls the blanket of darkness over its head for the last time. Let us see why the expansion of the cosmos is the ultimate guarantee that you will never, ever be disturbed again. Let us drift into the expanding dark. We have spent the night exploring the dark forest. We have learned to see the silence as a library, the shadows as a blanket, and the distance as a moat. We have visited the hidden civilizations tucked away in their private gardens, and we have realized that their laziness is actually a profound form of peace. But there is one final chapter to this story. There is one final layer of protection that the universe is building for us, right now, as we speak. It is a protection that is being built very slowly, on a timescale that makes the pyramids look like they were built 5 seconds ago. It is a protection that is woven into the very fabric of space itself. Let us fast forward the clock. Let us leave the present day of the universe, this busy, youthful era where galaxies are still colliding and stars are still being born, and travel deep into the future. Let us watch the timeline unspool. Let the millions of years drift by like clouds. Let the billions of years flow like a river. We are moving toward the era of the expanding dark. Tone, visual, the lighthouse callback. Imagine that you are back on that lighthouse rock we stood on earlier. You are looking out at the ocean. In the present day, you can see other islands in the distance. You can see the faint twinkle of lighthouses on the horizon. You can see the shapes of other lands. Andromeda, the Triangulum Galaxy, the Magellanic Clouds. They are far away, yes, but they are there. They are part of your geography. But now, watch the water. The ocean is not sitting still. It is growing. This is the great secret of the cosmos. Space is not a static stage. It is stretching. It is expanding. New water is being created between the islands every single second. The distance between you and the other islands is increasing. At first, the movement is imperceptible. It is like the hour hand on a clock. You cannot see it move. But if you look away and look back, it has changed position. But over the eons, the movement becomes undeniable. The island of Andromeda is drifting away. The cluster of Virgo is receding. The light from the distant lighthouses is becoming fainter, redder, dimmer. The ocean is getting wider. The great silence is getting deeper. Tone, reframing tragedy as safety. This is often described by scientists as a tragedy. They call it the big freeze, or the heat death. They talk about the loneliness of the end. But in the sleepy science of the dark forest, we see it differently. We see it as the ultimate security measure. The universe is pulling the galaxies apart to ensure that everyone gets their own room. Think of a crowded dormitory where the beds are too close together. You can hear your neighbor breathing. You can hear them turning the pages of a book. It is intimate, but it is also intrusive. You crave privacy. You crave walls. Now, imagine that the room starts to expand. The floor stretches. The walls move outward. The bed next to you slides away. It moves 10 feet away, then 100 feet, then a mile. Eventually, the room is so big that you cannot see the other bed at all. You are alone in your own vast, private hall. You can no longer hear your neighbor. You can no longer be disturbed by their movements. You have achieved total isolation. This is what dark energy is doing to the galaxies. It is the cosmic renovations crew, expanding the floor plan of the universe so that every civilization has infinite space to breathe. Tone or the clean sky. Let us visualize the night sky of the deep future. Imagine standing on the surface of Earth, or whatever world humanity calls home in that distant time, 500 billion years from now. You look up, the sky is beautiful. It is filled with the steady, golden light of our own galaxy's stars. The Milky Way, which has by then merged with Andromeda to form a single, massive island of light, stretches across the zenith. It is a river of billions of suns. But look past the river. Look into the deep black. In our time, if you look into the deep black with a telescope, you see thousands of other galaxies. You see a tapestry of shapes, spirals, ellipticals, irregular blobs of light. The universe looks crowded, but in the future, the deep black is truly black. The other galaxies have drifted so far away that their light can no longer reach us. They have crossed the cosmic horizon. They have fallen off the edge of the observable world. The sky has been scrubbed clean. The clutter is gone. There are no more neighbors to worry about. There are no more invaders to fear. There are no more signals to decode. We are left alone with our own family of stars. This is the era of cosmic solitude, and it is the safest era in the history of time. Think about the implications for the dark forest. In the present day, we hide because it is possible for a hunter to find us. It is difficult, yes. It is expensive, yes. But it is physically possible. A ship could, in theory, cross the void between the galaxies. But in the expanding dark, the laws of physics slam the door shut. The space between the galaxies eventually expands faster than the speed of light. This means that even if a hunter wanted to come here, even if they built a ship that could travel at the absolute limit of reality, they could never reach us. The road is expanding faster than the car can drive. The bridge has been burned. The connection has been severed. We are no longer just hiding. We are physically quarantined by the expansion of space. This is the ultimate relief. It means that the war of the worlds is over. Not because one side won, but because the battlefield has been dissolved. You cannot fight an enemy you can never reach. You cannot invade a castle that is receding from you faster than you can run toward it. The universe has imposed a mandatory ceasefire. It has enforced a peace treaty based on geometry. You stay in your island galaxy, the universe says, and they will stay in theirs, and never the twain shall meet. Tone, deep relaxation, snow day, feel the tension leaving the system. For billions of years, life has been looking over its shoulder. Life has been scanning the horizon for threats. But now, the horizon is empty. The threat level has dropped to zero. We are entering the golden age of privacy. In this future, the civilizations of our galaxy can finally relax completely. We don't need to keep the radio silence anymore. We can turn the lights back on. We can shout as loud as we want. Why? Because there is no one out there to hear us. The sound waves will just travel out into the expanding void and fade away, unheard, unseen, unintercepted. We can be the noisy neighbor again, because we have no neighbors. This isolation is not a prison, it is a sanctuary. Think of the feeling of being snowed in. You know that feeling? You wake up in the morning and look out the window. The snow is falling thick and heavy. The roads are buried. The cars are covered. The school is closed. The office is closed. You cannot go anywhere, and no one can come to you. For a moment, you might feel trapped, but then the relief sets in. The cancellation sets in. The expectations of the day are wiped clean. You don't have to drive. You don't have to perform. You are trapped in your warm house with your books and your tea and your family. The snow has created a temporary pocket of peace. The expanding dark is the snow day of the universe. But it is a snow day that lasts forever. The galaxies are snowed in by the vacuum. The roads are closed, and so we turn inward. We turn to the hearth. We turn to the comfort of our own little island. Tone, personal application, drifting away as you lie in bed. Imagine that your room is one of these drifting islands. The expansion is happening right now in your own life. The universe is gently pushing the rest of the world away from you. Visualize your workplace. It is on an island drifting away. It is getting smaller and smaller on the horizon. The emails, the meetings, the deadlines, they are receding. They are crossing the horizon. They can no longer reach you. Visualize the news, the politics, the arguments of the internet. They are on another island, and that island is being carried away by the current of the dark. The noise is fading. The signal is breaking up. It is gone. Visualize the expectations of others, the social obligations, the pressure to be someone, drifting away, expanding away. You are left alone on the island of here. You are left alone on the island of now. This island is perfectly sized. It has exactly enough room for your bed. It has exactly enough room for your peace. It is self-sufficient. It is secure. The concept of loneliness shifts here. We are taught to fear being alone, but in the deep future, being alone is the only rational state. It is the state of safety. If you are alone, you are safe. If you are alone, you are whole. The drifting islands metaphor allows us to see separation as a form of love. The universe loves its creations enough to give them space. It loves them enough to ensure that they are not crowded. It breaks up the party so that everyone can go home and get some sleep. Imagine the Milky Way in this future era. It is a lonely jewel box spinning in the endless dark. It is self-contained. The civilizations inside it have become ancient and wise. They have stopped looking outward because there is nothing outward to see. They have focused all their energy on making their home beautiful. They tend their stars like gardens. They wrap their planets in comfort. They tell stories of the old days when the sky was full of other galaxies, when the universe felt small and dangerous. They tell those stories like ghost stories around a campfire. Once upon a time, we were afraid of the dark. Once upon a time, we thought we were being hunted. But the children of the future don't understand the fear. They look up at the clean, black sky and see only peace. They see the empty dark as a blanket that keeps them warm. They know that they are the only ones, and that knowledge makes them feel special. It makes them feel precious. They are the custodians of the last light in their sector of reality. You are the custodian of the last light in your room. You are the keeper of the consciousness that is burning right here, right now. The rest of the world has drifted away. The expansion has done its work. You are entering the state of cosmic solitude. Solitude is different from loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the glory of being alone. Solitude is the richness of self. Solitude is the feeling of a king sitting on a throne in an empty hall, perfectly content in his power. You are the king or queen of the bed. You are the ruler of the pillow. Your domain is secure. The hunters, the stressors, the worries, the anxieties are on the other side of the expansion. They are on the other side of the event horizon. They cannot cross the gap. Physics forbids it. You can close your eyes and know, with absolute certainty, that nothing is coming to get you. The door is not just locked, the door is gone. The wall is infinite. We are drifting. We are floating on the calmest sea in history. The water is glass. The sky is velvet. The island is warm. The final curtain is not a curtain that falls down. It is a curtain that expands out. It pushes the audience back until they are gone, leaving only the dreamer on the stage. And the dreamer does not have to perform. The dreamer just has to sleep. Let us sink deeper into this feeling of expansion. Let us feel the space opening up inside our own minds. Just as the galaxies are moving apart, let your thoughts move apart. Usually, our thoughts are crowded. They are like the stars in the core of the galaxy, packed tight, bumping into each other, creating heat and friction. I need to do this. I forgot that. What if this happens? Clutter, noise, heat. But now, apply the dark energy to your mind. Let the space between the thoughts expand. Let the thought of tomorrow drift away from the thought of today. Let them separate. Let the gap between them grow. Let the thought of work drift away from the thought of rest. Let the ocean open up between them. Let the thoughts become isolated islands. They are still there, perhaps, but they are far away. You cannot jump from one to the other. You are stranded on the island of the breath. You are stranded on the island of the heartbeat, and this is a happy stranding. You don't want to leave. You have everything you need right here. The expanding dark is clearing the sky of your mind. It is wiping the slate clean. It is creating a vast open space where you can simply exist. Tone, transition to finale. We are moving toward the end of the story. We are moving toward the final merger of the inner and outer worlds. We have established that the universe is hiding, and that hiding is safe. We have established that the distance is a barrier, and that the expansion is a guarantee. Now, we must bring it all home. We must take these cosmic truths and tuck them under the covers with us. We must let the blanket of night settle over us, heavy and soft and permanent. We are ready for the final sleep. We are ready to close the eyes of the universe. Let us turn to the final section. Let us pull the blanket up. Let us find the ultimate hiding spot. Right here, behind the eyelids. We have reached the end of our journey across the cosmos. We have traveled from the lighthouse on the edge of the sea to the deep, silent forests of the galaxy. We have swum the vast ocean between the stars and drifted on the drifting islands of the deep future. We have seen the universe expand until it is nothing but a collection of solitary, peaceful sparks in the dark. But now, it is time to come home. It is time to leave the scale of the light years and return to the scale of the inches. It is time to leave the timeline of the eons and return to the timeline of the breath. We are going to perform the final magic trick of the sleepy science. We are going to take the immense, protecting darkness of the universe and fold it up until it fits inside your room. We're going to take the dark forest and bring it right here into your bed. You are no longer just an observer of the galaxy, you are a participant. You are not just watching the hidden civilizations, you are becoming one. Let us begin with the physical sensation of your body. You are lying down. You are heavy. You are still. In the language of the cosmos, you have become a planet. You are a small, rocky world that has cooled down after a long day of spinning. You have settled into a stable orbit. The gravity of the mattress is holding you in place, anchoring you, ensuring that you will not drift away. Now, think of the duvet or the blanket that is covering you. In the daylight, it is just fabric. But tonight, in the context of the dark forest, it is something much more powerful. It is your atmosphere. Planets are protected by their atmospheres. They wrap themselves in layers of gas and cloud to shield themselves from the cold of the void and the radiation of the stars. Your blanket is your cloud layer. It is a thick, insulating barrier that separates the inner world of your body from the outer world of the room. Feel the warmth trapped underneath that layer. That is your planetary heat. That is the energy of your life, held close, preserved, and cherished. You are a self-contained ecosystem. Under the blanket, the climate is perfect. Under the blanket, you are safe from the weather of the house. You are swaddled in your own personal nebula. Tone the cloak now. Let us engage the primary defense system. Let us activate the technology that makes the advanced civilizations disappear. Close your eyes. In this simple biological act, you have done something profound. You have activated the cloaking device. Think about what happens when you close your eyes. The visual stream is cut. The data from the outside world stops flowing in. The room disappears. The furniture disappears. The door disappears. To the outside world, you are still there. But to your world, the outside has vanished. You have rendered it null and void. By closing your eyes, you have painted the universe black. You have created your own personal dark forest. Behind your eyelids, it is dark, but it is not an empty dark. It is a velvety, rich, protective dark. It is the same darkness that fills the space between the stars. It is the same darkness that wraps the hidden worlds of the galaxy. When you close your eyes, you are joining the hiders. You are saying to the universe, I am going dark. I am taking myself off the grid. And just like the civilizations we imagined earlier, this is not an act of fear, it is an act of power. You are asserting your right to be unseen. You are asserting your right to disconnect. Tone, breathing as technology now. Let us attend to the engine of this planet. Let us attend to the breath. Listen to the rhythm of your breathing. In and out. In and out. Earlier, we talked about the noisy neighbor Earth, broadcasting its radio waves into space, shouting its presence to the void. Your waking mind is that noisy neighbor. All day long, your thoughts have been broadcasting. I need this. I have to go there. What about that? Your mind has been a radio tower, sending signals of stress and planning out into the world. But now, as you slow your breathing, you are lowering the signal. You are turning down the volume of the broadcast. With every slow exhale, you are reducing your energy signature. You are moving from the bonfire phase of the day to the ember phase of the night. Imagine that your anxiety is a radio wave. It is a jagged, high-frequency spike of energy. But as you breathe deeply, as you lengthen the pause between the inhale and the exhale, you are smoothing out that wave. You are flattening the curve. You are turning the jagged noise of worry into the flat, calm line of peace. You are becoming undetectable to the hunters. Tone, dismissing the hunters, let us speak to the hunters one last time. What are the hunters in your life? They are not aliens. They are not predators in the woods. They are the worries of tomorrow. They are the regrets of yesterday. They are the hypothetical problems that your brain likes to invent to keep you alert. These hunters are prowling around the edge of your consciousness, looking for a signal. They are looking for the heat of your stress. They are looking for the noise of your overthinking. But tonight, they will not find you. You have engaged the cloaking device, your eyes. You have established the atmosphere, your blanket. And you have lowered the energy signature, your breath. You are hidden. Visualize the worries prowling through the room. They look at the bed, but they see nothing. They see only a quiet, dark shape that blends perfectly with the night. They scan for the frequency of panic, but they hear only the frequency of rest. They are confused, they cannot lock on, and so they move on. They drift away, out the door, out the window, dissolving into the nothingness. You have successfully evaded the thoughts that try to steal your sleep. You have outsmarted them by doing the one thing they didn't expect. You stopped engaging. You stopped fighting. You simply disappeared into the quiet. You are a ghost planet now. You are drifting in the void, unseen and untouched. Feel the immense satisfaction of this evasion. You have won the game of hide and seek. You are tucked away in the deepest, darkest burrow of the universe, and no one knows you are here. You are free. Tucked in by the universe. The blanket of night is not just the fabric on your bed, it is the fabric of space-time itself. Imagine that the darkness of the universe is a physical weight, a heavy, comforting quilt that is being tucking around your shoulders by gravity. The universe is tucking you in. This is the ultimate promise of the dark forest theory. We often think of the universe as indifferent. We think it doesn't care about us. But in the sleepy science view, the universe cares about us deeply. It cares about us enough to provide us with the dark. It has built the night specifically for this purpose. It has turned off the sun so you can rest. It has spread the stars far apart so you can have privacy. It has expanded the galaxies so you can be alone. Everything the cosmos has done for the last 13 billion years, the expansion, the cooling, the distancing, has been leading up to this moment. It has all been an effort to create a safe, quiet place for you to sleep. You are the precious cargo that the universe is trying to protect. Feel that protection now. It is pressing down on you gently. It is the weight of the eyelids. It is the heaviness of the limbs. It is the feeling of sinking into the mattress. That sinking feeling is not just gravity, it is the drift. You are drifting away from the shore of the day. You are drifting out into the sanctuary of distance. The shore is getting smaller. The noise of the land is fading. You are floating into the open ocean of sleep. And you are not alone in this ocean. You are surrounded by the quiet ones. Imagine that all around you, in the invisible houses of the neighborhood, in the invisible planets of the galaxy, there are billions of others who are also hiding. They have all closed their eyes. They have all pulled up their blankets. They have all quieted their signals. We are a galaxy of sleepers. We are a federation of dreamers. We are united not by our noise, but by our silence. We are connected not by our bridges, but by the dark water that holds us all. You are part of this great, silent majority. You are doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. You are following the laws of nature. Sleep is the law, rest is the mandate. Tone, final dissolution fade out as you drift deeper. Allow the boundaries of your planet to soften. The atmosphere is merging with the void. The blanket is merging with the night. You are losing your definition. You are no longer a person lying in a bed. You are a consciousness floating in the dark. You are a spark of awareness that is slowly dimming, slowly cooling, slowly returning to the source. The universe is holding your hand in the dark. Can you feel it? It is that sense of presence that comes when the room is very quiet. It is the feeling that you are being watched over, not by eyes, but by the silence itself. The silence is a guardian. It stands at the foot of your bed. It stands at the door. It stands at the edge of the solar system. It keeps the watch so you don't have to. You can let go of the vigilance. You can let go of the need to know what is happening. Nothing is happening. That is the beauty of the dark forest. Nothing happens here. There is only the slow, steady growth of the trees. There is only the slow, steady rotation of the worlds. There is no news in the forest. There are no alerts. There are no emergencies. There is only the now. And the now is soft. The now is warm. The now is dark. Allow yourself to sink into the moss of the forest floor. It is soft and deep. It smells of eternity. Allow yourself to curl up in the burrow of the night. It is cozy and safe. The hunter of the morning is hours away. It is on the other side of the planet. It cannot see you. It cannot reach you. For the next 8 hours you are invisible. You are off the record. You do not exist to the world. Enjoy that non-existence. It is the lightest feeling in the world. It is the feeling of putting down a heavy backpack after a long hike. You have put down the backpack of being you. You are just a breath. You are just a heartbeat. You are just a shadow in a quiet room. The universe is hiding. The aliens are hiding. The stars are hiding. And now, you are hiding too. We are all hiding together. We are all safe in the dark. The final curtain is falling. It is a curtain of velvet stars. It is falling gently, covering the stage, covering the audience, covering the world. The show is over. The lights are out. The piece has begun. Drift into the forest. Drift into the silence. Drift into the deep, protecting, endless sleep. You are hidden. You are safe. You are home. Good night, traveler. Good night, hider. Good night.